to work that Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so here's another thing where it's a little bit more advanced. So it says find the height of the firework, round your answer to the nearest tenth. So notice that we have a triangle there. It's a right triangle. In the end, we also have that when they measured this out, that it was 1.5 meters to the ground yet. So we're going to have to add 1.5 to our final answer. Okay, so we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to be working with some really big numbers here. So let's see. I'll say this is a and this is b. So this is my c, my longest side. So a squared, I don't know, plus b squared is 300 squared equals c squared, which was 335. Okay, so when I go through to do this, 300 squared is going to give me 90,000. So I have a squared plus 90,000 equals, then 335 squared is 112,225. Big numbers. Okay, so now we want to get the a squared by itself, so we'll subtract. And some of you maybe did the minus 300 squared on the other side and then simplified it. We still end up doing the same steps, just in a different order. Okay, so now when I simplify this, I have a squared equals 22,225. So now to get rid of the squared, I'm going to do the square root to get rid of that. So the square root of 22,225, that's a lot of twos, gives me 149.08. So if we go to the nearest tenth, it'd be 149.1 for this. Now, they want to know the height of that firework, so I have to include all of this, including that 1.5. So I'm going to go ahead and add plus 1.5 to my answer, and it's going to give me 150.6 approximately. So that firework is 150.6 meters above the ground. Okay, so let's go ahead and try another one of those. Once again, it's just applying Pythagorean theorem to a real world situation. Okay, so last one, it says find the height of the kite, round your answer to the nearest tenth. So Pythagorean theorem, we're noticing that the height when he's holding up the kite, that's 1.4 meters from the ground. So we have to include that in the end because we want to know how far that kite is from the ground. So here's our A and our B. This is our C. So we don't know a squared plus b squared is 6 squared equals c squared is 15 squared. Okay, so a squared plus 6 squared is 36 equals 15 squared is 225. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my 36 because I want to get a squared by itself. So subtract it. So now I have a squared equals 189. And to get rid of the squared, I have to do square root. This is usually the step sometimes people forget to do is that square root. Oops. And when I do that, I get 13.74. So 13.7 for this. They want to know the full height. So we're going to do 13.7 plus 1.4. And when I add that together, I get 15.4. Sorry, 15.1. And then I about wrote 4. And then meters. Final answer. So sometimes they're going to give you pictures where you can use Pythagorean theorem, but then you have to tie into, like here, the height above, they kind of left some distance off between something and the ground. So remembering that you need to add that in. So that's pretty much it for Pythagorean theorem. Key thing to remember is when you're solving Pythagorean theorem, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b make up the right side of your triangle and c is your longest side or your hypotenuse. Don't forget as you're simplifying and solving those that you have to remember to find a by itself or c by itself or whatever letter. Don't forget to do that square root of that number. Good luck with this.